Hello, beautiful soul. So welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Pamela. I am a trauma-informed holistic healer and spiritual guide. Today, we are going to start delving into something deeply personal and often misunderstood, spiritual awakening. So if you're feeling confused, overwhelmed, or that life has recently turned completely upside down, know that you're not alone. And you might just be going through a spiritual awakening. So, in this video, we're going to talk about what it is, what the signs are, and why it can feel both beautiful and painful at the same time. All right. A spiritual awakening is a process where you begin to see life, yourself, and the world through a new lens. It's a moment or a series of moments where something inside you clicks and you can't go back to the way things were. Essentially, you are waking up from the illusion, from the autopilot, from the conditioning, from living in survival mode, and you are now stepping into a deeper truth. But awakening isn't always this blissful, peaceful thing. I'm sorry. I want to lie to you and tell you it is, but it's not. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it hurts. And actually, that's okay, because in fact, it's not only normal, it's part of the process. Okay, so here are some common signs that you might be in a spiritual awakening. Number 1, you feel lost or confused. You might start to question, well, pretty much everything, like your job, your relationships, your beliefs, and what once made sense to you suddenly doesn't anymore. Number 2, heightened emotions. Okay? Mood swings, and you can't place any rhyme or reason for them. Feeling sad and crying for no reason. Anxieties start creeping in that you've never had before. Anger. Oh my God, anger was a huge one for me. I would wake up angry, like ready and looking for a fight. Totally outside my character. Old pains and old wounds start to surface. It's suddenly like all that baggage that you've been carrying that's relatively like remained under the surface starts coming up and demanding attention because it wants to heal. Number 3, increased sensitivity. So you may feel more sensitive to energy, crowds, noise, stimulation of any kind, and even people. It's like your senses are being rewired and suddenly like everything is amplified. Number 4, disconnecting from the old you. So you kind of start to feel a little bit like a stranger in your own life. Like the things that you used to enjoy, the people, the places, the things, the activities, they don't feel right anymore. They don't feel aligned. They don't give you that same joy and pleasure that they used to. This is not a regression. This is part of your transformation process. Number 5, you suddenly have this desire for meaning and purpose. So there's like this inner pull where your soul is like asking like, there's got to be more than this, right? Spoiler alert, there is. And you're being guided towards it right now. Number 6, synchronicities and signs. You start seeing like repeating numbers, animal messages, or dream symbols. It's kind of like you notice that the universe is speaking to you through people, places, things, signs, social media posts, and like you're finally able to hear them. Because these messages have always been going on, but now you're aware of them and you're becoming more and more aware of them, and it's harder to ignore them now. And number 7, you have this deep you have this deep need for inner healing to begin. So again, those traumas, that baggage starts coming to the surface and demanding attention because it wants to be healed. So you start looking and working towards, how do I start to heal these traumas? Okay? You start asking deeper questions. You begin to make space to allow yourself to feel that the pain has a purpose, and that maybe, just maybe, if you give yourself some space, it may lead you to a different place. And I promise you it will. I want to say this clearly. Discomfort is part of the process. And that's the case for a lot of things in life. A lot of the lessons that I learned in life came from experiencing discomfort. Because listen, when things are good and I'm comfortable and things are great, I'm not really branching out. I'm not trying new things. I'm not learning. But when you make me uncomfortable and I become uncomfortable enough, I will start working towards doing new things and making changes in my life to bring me back to a level of comfort. So, if you are going through something right now and you're here questioning whether or not you're going through a spiritual awakening, the odds are that something in your life feels broken. Maybe something has started to fall apart. Know that this is part of the process. This is a rebirth. And awakenings often begin with some form of unraveling, because the old has to fall away before the new can emerge. So for me, my most recent spiritual awakening happened after I was in a car accident. And then, like this, I lost everything. I lost my ability to care for myself and function as a human being. We lost our house. We lost all our savings. I lost my ability to work. All these things happened all at the same time. And it was like this, overnight. Overnight. Suddenly everything I had worked for started slipping away. But today I know that that had to happen. That was part of the process, right? So just like a seed that has to crack open before it sprouts, you too are breaking open. You're not falling, and you're not breaking open to fall apart. You're breaking open so you can rise, just like that sprout. All right, I want to take a quick couple moments to talk about the beauty of doing the work, okay? Because I know the first part of this video sounds like, why would anybody willingly walk this path when I'm telling you that you're going to walk through some hard moments? But here's the beauty. As you move through this process, you will begin to feel moments of deep peace. I mean, I didn't know that this is what peace could feel like. And I promise you, today, I will not compromise my peace for nothing and no one. Because this peace that I have learned and began to embrace is unlike anything I've ever experienced. And it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's worth every hard moment that I had to get to this point. You're also going to have deep moments of feeling connected. Connected to source, connected to the spiritual realm, connected to energy, however you see that realm, okay? You are going to feel a deep connection to that. You're going to experience clarity in a way that you've never experienced clarity before. You're going to see beauty where you used to see chaos. You're going to begin to trust yourself more, and it's such a freeing gift. And with that connection, you will feel guided and supported. Even though you can't explain the how or why of it, But during those dark times, you will feel guided and supported. And maybe, if you're like me, for the first time in your life, you'll begin to feel whole. I promise you, it is worth every tear I have shed, every moment of discomfort. I would openly choose that path again to get to where I am today. And I want you all to have it. That's why I do this. So remember, a spiritual awakening is not a destination. This is a lifeline journey. Okay? And it's not about being perfect. It's just about becoming real and authentic and true to you and your thoughts and your beliefs. And the truth is, you're not alone on this path. You never were. Once you make that connection to whatever the spiritual realm is for you, that connection will continue to grow and feel stronger and more stable and more connected. But the other side of that coin is there are lots of us that are also walking a spiritual path. And so we are now part of your story and your journey if you choose. There's tons of communities out on all different social media platforms. And this little video series is another example of community. And we are all rooting for you. That's the best part about the spiritual community. For the most part. We have bad actors everywhere. But for the most part, we're all rooting for each other and want to help each other grow and walk our path. I also want you to understand that your spiritual journey is unique to yourself. So what I may believe may not fit with your beliefs. That is okay. Okay? While you walk this process, what will happen is those synchronicities will happen where like people will pop up on your social media feed, or you'll hear something spiritual and you'll think, take what you like and leave what you don't. Okay? Your definition of spirituality is going to be very different from mine, from the person next to you, whoever. Okay? It's because we're unique human beings. So give yourself permission to allow yourself to build spirituality that works for you. Okay? Always remember, take what you like, leave what you don't. All right? So, as I wrap up, if this resonated with you, I would love to hear your experience. I ask that you drop a comment. Maybe let me know what are some signs that you noticed that were confirmation for you that you are in a spiritual awakening. Or what are some signs that you're seeing that have made you start to question whether or not you are at the beginning of your spiritual awakening. And then again, if this helped you or you found this video inspiring or informational, I ask that you like, share, and subscribe so that we can help reach more people on their healing journeys as well. Lastly, be kind to yourself. This process is about you finding what works for you, you tapping into who you authentically truly are. Guilt, shame, regret, they're not necessary. If you feel them, acknowledge them and give yourself permission to release them. This is a space and a process of healing, and healing should never have judgment against ourselves. Okay? You can't change anything from the past. All you can do is acknowledge it and learn from it and move forward. So, I want you to know that just you showing up today and watching this video tells me that you are doing better than you think. I know, I spent a lot of dark time in the beginning being like unsure, what am I doing? Am I doing this right? And eventually I got to this place because I heard the message several times again that as long as you are moving forward in this process through awareness, through contemplation, through making small changes into your life, you are doing it right. and it will happen on the time frame in the way that it's supposed to for you. All right. I am wishing you all a very blessed day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be kind to yourself.